Daniel, final question. As you mentioned earlier, the writing has been on the wall for some time, the tension between Pravin Gordhan and Jacob Zuma, and over the management of state entities. The recent social grants crisis highlighted this. How all is Gordhan seen as an obstruction to Jacob Zuma leading government and the radical economic transformation policy that he would like to implement?
Yeah, look, I think it's a good question. I think, there are really two views within government at the moment. One, I would argue, is the Gordhan view, which is notwithstanding political cadre deployment, connections to friends, crony capitalism, notwithstanding that, governance in South Africa, in particular, I would argue, issues surrounding state expenditure and effective governance of the state-owned enterprises is in an extremely perilous state, and that a sense of order and responsibility has to be returned to that. And the Gordhan view of the world would be, well, we've got to rein in those that are involved in excess, whether it's excess expenditure or, in fact, whether it's inefficient governance. The other side of the equation would perhaps argue that agencies of the state are there for the taking. They're there, in fact, for cadres and for friends and for cronies to be deployed to, and that Gordhan may be seen as indeed an obstructionist to the ability of these state-owned enterprises to perhaps try and spend their way out of trouble. It's a fundamental clash that exists in the views of these differing factions within the ANC. But I think the point must be made about Pravin Gordhan and his relationship to President Zuma. And the point really is that Gordhan came in at a time when the country was looking for stability at the finance ministry. And I don't think Gordhan was ever regarded as a permanent fixture. He was a stopgap Minister of Finance in order to rectify the debacle following the end of Nhlanhla. And Gordhan himself has said that he's expendable, he can be replaced. And I think by his own admission, he is seen as being someone who is there as a caretaker into the future. So for President Zuma, the real issue is, if Gordhan is replaced, who is he replaced by? Is he replaced by someone else who will be seen by the markets as being friendly towards being prudent when it comes to spending? Or will the replacement for Pravin Gordhan be someone who will be perceived as doing the bidding for the Guptas or the bidding for Jacob Zuma and other connected elites? So the replacement of Pravin Gordhan, if it gets to that, does not have to be negative for South Africa, depending on who is put in that particular position.
Okay, Daniel, thank you very much for your insight today.
Thanks, Nick. Pleasure.